And all of this has therefore resulted in sort of changing the image of India from a country known for its traditions and spirituality and yoga to a country which is known for high quality services, known for its intellectual capital, and the growing number of companies which are listed on the global stock exchange spells this out. The fact that IT sector is leading Indian businesses overseas acquisition spree is being led by the Indian IT industry has really made the Made in India brand quite something else really. As we discussed before, the IT industry has had a significant impact on achieving balanced growth within the country. And just in order to see what really was the impact that the entry of IT industry had in a small town, we did a small case study covering Bhubaneswar. And while not too much data was available really in terms of the numbers that we would have liked, we did manage to get some idea of what is the kind of impact that an industry has in a small town. In the case of Bhubaneswar, the STP registered units have been increasing steadily, and in fact we found that the export earnings have reached 800 crores in the year 2006-07, which shows a growth rate of about 60%, which is significantly higher than the national average of 28%. And this has had a very significant impact on employment generation. The demand for ITS professionals has grown at a growth rate of about 206% over the last 5 to 6 years, and it's projected to reach 430,000 by 2012. And also very interestingly, till about 2004, there was a situation where there was a very large excess of supply over demand in terms of the IT professionals, and they were actually having to move out of the city to look for jobs. And this has completely reversed, and now we have a situation where in the year 2007 there was a shortage of about 63,000 professionals in the IT industry. And consequently, this entire pressure on demand for such professionals is leading to the growth of several new educational institutions. The number of engineering colleges has risen from around 10 to 45 in the recent years. A number of IITs have come up. There's been an impact on infrastructure. New townships are coming up. There's improvement in local amenities, roads, housing, retail. Again, because of the services that are demanded by the IT industry and produced in the associated service sectors. To conclude, we can say, as far as the impact on a small city is concerned, while the industry needs a basic level of talent and infrastructure available to decide to enter that city, once they do decide to move to that city, it has a significant impact on the economy and the society, which leads to growth in exports, employment generations, improvement in quality of education, services, and infrastructure. Which can actually motivate other governments and organizations, cities for example, to want to emulate that success, which pushes the government into ensuring at least that basic minimum infrastructure which would get the IT industry in. Now, as I mentioned before, the fact that the industry was faced with a shortage of talent actually led them to come up with very innovative solutions on how to deal with it. And we found diversity at the workplace, and in terms of women, there's about 30% of the employees are women, which is slated to become 45%. About 2/3 of the employees are youth, which again, in a country like India is very significant because 70% of our workforce is expected to be in that age group. They hired out of mainstream employees such as housewives and retired persons. And interestingly, our survey showed that about 33 to 50% of the employees of this industry are from small towns. And this actually again gives a boost to the economy of these small towns by generating these resources there. A very interesting and encouraging finding was that about 64% of the companies that we met were hiring people with disabilities. And some of them were doing it simply by not discriminating against them. Some of them were positively discriminating and encouraging them to apply. Not only that, there were very interesting initiatives on trying to make this a sustainable proposition and trying to mainstream people with disabilities into the employment and bring them into the employment net. As far as quality is concerned, once again, the industry found that the education institutions were not able to cater to the demands of the industry in terms of keeping up with technology, of the quality. And once again they responded with a three-pronged approach. They decided to work on developing the overall talent pool in the country. They worked on enhancing the skills of employees within the organization and by providing a very stimulating and friendly atmosphere to ensure optimum efficiency of the employees. In terms of contributing to the overall development pool, the industry has collaborated extensively with the government, academic institutions. They have been involved in designing curriculum to make sure that it meets with the industry needs. The industry is volunteering to go and teach teachers and students to ensure that this gap between the demand and the supply is reduced. And also the industry is, in fact the Ministry of HRD has recommended the launching of 5 new IIITs based on a PPP model with the support from NASCOM and the industry. Once again, as far as training is concerned, very high amount of investment is being made by the IT industry in training the employees. 68% of the companies are offering scholarships and funding higher education courses. In fact, the top 5 companies are investing close to $430 million. They're expected to invest this in the year 08 to bring the talent quality up to the mark. And this investment is not to simply to ensure that they are able to do the job that they're expected to do. This investment is actually building their skills and their competencies which will stand them in good stead wherever they go. So this is really an investment into human resource development. Also, the industry has set a precedent on creating a very employee-friendly and stimulating work environment, which actually, given that the age of the employees is what it is, it's almost a necessity to keep them there. We also found during our study that a lot of the companies were actually developing very interesting products and services which could have far-reaching impact on the lives of the marginalized people. These products and services in some cases are it's just as part of doing business. Some of them have been done at a discounted price, some of them have been done free of cost. But I was saying, they have a significant ability to improve the lives of the ordinary people. I can't name all of them here, but one interesting one is the literacy program by TCS, which will help develop reading skills in 40 hours as evidence of 200 hours which it normally takes. And this has helped over 90,000 people across 1,400 centers. Another interesting one is the Fisher Friendly application by Qualcomm, which enables the fishing community to get information which would on the weather and market prices, which would help them improve livelihoods.